The news this week, the province has offered to purchase $53.5 million worth of Laurentian University assets as the insolvent university attempts to come up with funds to pay out its creditors. This plan is being condemned by the Tricultural Committee for University Education.
And I'm thinking Tricultural Committee includes Anglophone, Francophone, and Indigenous?
Correct.
Okay.
And the entire process, they say, has been a bonanza for the corporate sector at the expense of taxpayers. So, translation, lawyers, consultants, executives, all these things are the ones that are really getting the pay.
Because that is part of the cost of insolvency, is paying off these particular parties.
Exactly.
It's not just paying
we've
off
talked about this before.
Creditors, it's the current costs you're currently incurring to go through this process.
So, Laurentian, once the largest university in Northern Ontario, will be a pale corporate shadow of the full public university we deserve. Again, I can't feel a ton of pity for Laurentian. You wanted this. Like, you dug your own grave with the CCAA process. There is precedent for going to the province for help. You specifically planned and strategized to not do that.
Yep.
And now you're complaining about the province wanting something in return.
Now, is Laurentian complaining, or is this committee complaining?
Well, it seems like
Laurentian's
going to take the deal, but this committee doesn't seem to really enjoy that.
Yeah, not too familiar
prospect.
with this committee. Is it like...
So it was formed in response to the process, the insolvency and creditor protection restructuring.
Oh, okay.
And that's specifically what this committee is for. So it seems like pretty specific in its application. They're not too happy with it. But in my opinion,
and why
they're going
would
to take
they be?
the deal.
I was going to say, and why would they be happy with it? You know what I mean? Other than if the province just said, okay, here's free money with no strings attached. That's the only way.
Of course they're going to like that.
Would be
but
happy.
it wouldn't be enough money.
No,
they need more.
For sure.
But $53.5 million to the layman, that seems like quite a bit of money.
Yeah, $53 million. I mean, you could probably do
a few things.
Do something with it. Go to the movies. I think you could go. Get some popcorn. You could afford like the food
I could
at
go
the
to a
theater.
couple movies. Yeah, because of inflation. Is that the joke?
You could probably get some popcorn and get a combo.
Yeah,
with some chocolate bar and pop.
Weren't you the one that told me for a quarter you used to be able to buy all those things?
Now you're showing my age, for sure. Yes.
All right, I didn't mean to.
For a quarter, you could get. Yes, a pop, a chocolate bar, and some chips.
Maybe some chips.
For sure.
That's crazy to me.
I remember penny candies were penny candies. You could just a couple pennies and you got, some. You can get a couple candies for a penny.
That's just crazy to me.
Then
This Laurentian, they said the $53 million is to be used to buy public properties we already own, though not necessarily endowed green spaces or the art gallery of Sudbury and its collection. So it's kind of a weird thing. It's like, because it's a public university.
Yeah.
So technically its assets belong to the provincial government anyway. So the provincial government wanting these things as collateral seems like taking it out of the left pocket and putting it into the right pocket.
That's usually the way it works, right? Steal from Peter to pay Paul, is that what they say?
Something like that, yeah.
Now, Miles, who was on Sudbury Sports Talk quite a bit, he used to join us, I think, every Tuesday, one day a week. And anyway, so he's on Facebook Live a lot, and he's asking if there's a public outcry about all of the Laurentian stuff that's going on, because he's not really hearing much.
I do remember. You remember those lawn signs?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they're still around.
What did they say?
Save Laurentian, something along those lines.
Yeah,
you remember those? They
I
were
do
blue,
now.
Almost like election signs, but they were saying Save Laurentian.
Save our university, yeah.
Save our university. It was essentially a campaign for
Save LU.
Giving them everything they wanted to restructure and,
Yeah.
So this wouldn't happen, essentially.
Yep.
But here we are.
It happened. There is a public outcry. I think when you say public outcry, we're covering the news stories. We've talked to anyone who's, been following what we've been talking about. It seems like there's a Laurentian story almost pretty much every day.
Pretty much. It's a pretty popular issue.
And I do see the comments in our Facebook posts that are not too happy and
it seems like
a little cynical, very cynical. There's not going to be too much accountability for what's happened, but
that's the camp I fall into.
This Tricultural Committee, is that
That's
what
right.
this is called?
Mm-hmm.
Formed due to the process of bankruptcy from, I guess, sympathizers within Laurentian. Is that where these people from the committee come from?
Well, it's similar to like a Senate committee, which would be stakeholders.
Perfect, then.
Different people from
so
different... So
obviously they're on Laurentian's side. And
I would hope so.
Exactly.
You wouldn't want them to not be on their side.
No, and so they're definitely not going to be very happy with that. So it is what it is.
Yeah, it's a complicated process. I mean, it's...
More to come.
I hope that... I was talking to my wife last night. I think it's pretty much inevitable that we're going to have a recession either right now or in the near future.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you agree with that?
Hyperinflation usually means recession, yes.
Hyperinflation is a separate thing.
But
I'm not super interested in that.
But it usually means recession. It goes along with the Jimmy Carter's days back in the 70s. You wouldn't remember
that was the worst.
Yes.
1973, 1975 was the worst recession probably since the Depression.
Well,
and even since then, it's been the worst.
We're going to see similar to that coming up. But yeah, so you basically think there's going to be a recession, and so does your wife.
Either it's happening right now, or it's going to happen in the near future.
For sure.
And it definitely feels that way.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of, my only hope is that a recessionary period does not have a domino effect into places like into the public sector, education, things like that. Because when people don't feel rich, they won't make investments.
Exactly.
So education is an investment.
Yep.
I hope that smart people that make policy decisions can see past the immediacy of a recession and kind of try not to cut back too much in things like education, because it is an investment that doesn't pay off for a few years.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's scary. There's Laurentian just went through that, but maybe if they hit another hard, something challenging like a recession, will they be able to?
Will they come through
get through it? Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
So Miles says interest rates were doubled in the double digits in the early 1980s.
I heard they went above 20.
There you go. That would be double digits.
That would still be double digits, not triple digits.
Hey, AJ here. Did you like that video? Please like and subscribe for more, just like it every weekday.
Share it with your friends so they can stay up to date with all Sudbury news.